Welcome to Unlocking Starfield, brought to you by Lucozade. On June 11th, Xbox and Bethesda presented the Starfield Direct, and we got our most in-depth look at the space RPG yet. It was filled with gameplay, reveals, and new information that has us counting down the days until the game's September 6th release. And now, all we want to do is talk about it. So today, we're breaking down our favourite parts of the Starfield Direct, from combat to character customization. Stick around until the end of the show to find out how you can win Xbox and Starfield prizes every day, including an Xbox Series S and the newly announced Starfield Collector's Edition by taking part in challenges in the Lucozade Extended Reality experience. Today, I'm joined by Bex from Xbox On and presenter, writer, and IGN alum, Alicia Judge. Alicia and I were lucky enough to attend the Lucozade Starfield Direct watch party at the Microsoft Experience Centre in London, alongside influencers and IGN competition winners. Lucozade was flowing and we hosted a raffle with lots of cool prizes, including the Starfield headset and controller revealed in the Direct and the Starfield Constellation Edition, which we got to look at up close. It was a great evening, only made better by finally getting loads more info on Starfield. Alicia, in one word, how would you summarize the Starfield Direct?
Sandwiches. Sandwiches is my word, because the Direct, even though it was packed with those huge insights into the grand Starfield universe, Bethesda also spent more time than I think any other developer would talking about sandwiches, which is kind of why we love them, right? Those crazy, kooky, playful details that they fill their worlds with. And I think Starfield's going to be filled with those details.
Yeah, that producer is not going hungry at all in space. She's got plenty. Bex, how did you feel after watching the Direct?
Well, I feel really impatient because I just want to play it now. I felt really wholesome afterwards as well. Personality really came through from everyone we heard from. They were sharing all their favourite bits of the game, and I feel really wholesome and warm.
Yeah, I think you really get the sense that they care about it and they just wanted to show everybody in the Direct that.
Yeah, that was really lovely.
So not only was the Direct massive, but we got a better sense of Starfield's scale, which is huge. We always knew it would be big, but there's so much to explore. We got an even better look at New Atlantis, which looks like to be one of the first cities that we're going to be able to go to, and it's looking very clean, very nice, but also massive. I think they said it was the biggest city that they've made in a game yet.
Yeah, definitely, and it looks really like it's teeming with life. I feel like with open world RPGs, sometimes you can feel as you wander through it that you're kind of walking through a set and that you're the world's only moving parts. But what's cool about New Atlantis, seeing what they've shown, is that no, like the city really is moving around you. You know, there is life, there's lots of things to explore. It's not just a set piece. The
Direct made clear that exploration is going to be at the heart of Starfield, but how you explore is up to you. Bex, how are you going to tackle this star map that we've seen? Are you mining resources, documenting creatures, stealing sandwiches? What are you doing?
I mean, yeah, lots of sandwich stealing to begin with, absolutely. And any food that they have, I guess, go through the whole piracy menu. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to exploring just how vast the galaxy is and blasting into a hyperdrive into a planet that's way off in the distance in a totally different star system. That really excites me. I'm so buzzing to explore these cities that are teeming with life, like you say, but also visit planets and set up my own little holiday home miles and miles and miles away. I love that. I'm
also amazed by the scale in the sense that they've got the planets, and obviously you'll be jetting to those, but you've got the stuff in between as well. You've got these star yards, they were calling them. You've got enemy ships that you can board. So there's going to be stuff to do on the way in between planets. It's just crazy how much there is to do in this game. And you can see that's why Bethesda has really brought in procedural generation on this game, which is something that we talk about a lot. But here it sounds like the way that they're doing it is as you approach a planet, it's going to procedurally generate, it will create the flora, the fauna, the wildlife. But the computer will also pull pre-designed locations that Bethesda developers have carefully crafted. We saw a cave in the Direct, and these are the handcrafted points of narrative that a computer will then pepper into the planets. Seems to be how it works, which is a really exciting balance that allows them to put narrative detail into a world, a universe that has so much scale. Not only is Starfield's galaxy vast, but it's also very, very detailed, from the way light behaves on a planet, depending how far you are away from the nearest star, down to all the items you can pick up and look at. Bex, what struck you the most about the care and attention that's going into this game?
I mean, like you say, like being able to pick up almost every item and it have detail to it and you can inspect it and stuff, that sounds so exciting to me. All of the little details on your weapons or your armor and stuff, I can't wait for those. But also, I guess the detail in the cities that we're going to be inhabiting, exploring through, like this Western style Aquila city, I think it's called, proper like cowboy frontier vibes. Also, I love the neon aesthetic of neon. I'm definitely going to be relaxing there after a hard day's space pirating. New Atlantis as well, of course, Constellation's home. There was so much life throughout all of the NPC conversations, and even Constellation's office, we saw like a little glimpse of it there. It kind of gave me like proper naval vibes with the mahogany wood and books and globes and things like that. So I can't wait to find all of the little bits and just take it all in, really.
Yeah, it's got a good contrast between Constellation's office, where it does feel like it's actually from Earth almost now, or even, further back. And having New Atlantis is, very sleek design. That's a really nice contrast to have. Alicia, we get the sense that all this detail is helping to create this really grounded space setting, and that's even extending to the real-world items like the Starfield Chronomark watch that's in the collector's editions and is modeled on the watch that you get in the game. What are some of your key takeaways that you have about how Bethesda are designing this game?
There's so much detail from the game itself to, like you say, the collector's editions that we saw at the watch party, which is not a party about the watch, but when we were watching the direct, I mean, the watch was amazing. It deserves celebrating in and of itself. I think there's so many details, like the way that the box that it comes in opens with this really tactile mechanism. Bethesda have put so many years of development into this. It's impossible for them not to care. And they really clearly want people to enjoy playing it as much as they seem to have enjoyed making it.
Yeah, that watch does look amazing, and it looks like they've put in an incredible amount of detail just to make it feel like it's, come out the game and onto your wrist. Another thing that I think that they've really drilled down into is gravity. Of course, that's a massive thing in space, and it seems like every planet's got its own different gravity, so there's different levels of it. Sometimes it's like 0G, something I'm going to assume that it's going to be closer to Earth. How you interact and move around the planet in that way is just going to be amazing to see.
Yeah, and it's going to really affect combat. One of the things that we saw in the direct was how, depending on the gun that you use and the planet that you're on, that's going to really affect how combat flows. If you're using bullets on a 0G planet, probably not going to be as effective, which is a really nifty detail and touch, and just makes all these planets feel that bit more realistic. A lot of RPG shooters, right, in this vein, combat's often felt quite floaty, ironically, but like bullet spongy, not really grounded or as interesting. And I think that's something that Starfield is actually bringing to the genre, a more realistic and interesting and tactical way of shooting.
I'm really excited to use a jetpack in 0G, basically feel like you're flying around everywhere and you're just going over enemies and getting into their camps and whatever. That looks really, really cool. It's clear that in Starfield, where you go, what you do, and how you do it is your choice to make, and the possibilities seem virtually endless. One of those choices you're going to have to make is how you design your fleet of starships. Bex, what did you think about the spaceship customization?
Oh, I'm so excited for it. I can't wait. I'm such a builder when it comes to Sims games. I'm so excited to design my spaceship and have different areas inside it too, like cruise quarters, different mess halls and stuff. I really enjoyed as well how you can pick and choose your parts to make your perfect one, or if you wanted to go really in depth into the nitty gritty, you totally could as well. I'm so excited for that. Plus all the base building. I'm really excited for all of it.
Yeah, I'm a very superficial player, so I will design my ship, but I will only design the outside because that's all I want anyone to see. I don't want anybody coming in. It's just going to look a mess indoors. I just want it to look cool.
Well, what animal are you going to design yours for?
I just loved that producer and the little army of animals she'd created, like HMS Platypus, the mech, and just seeing it take off in this unwieldy. She was such a legend. I adored her.
I had to pick an animal to design my spaceship. I feel like a dog. I feel like that would be friendly.
So no one would attack your spaceship as you're flying through. Leave the dog alone.
Exactly, yeah. But then you could also, I feel like I could have a fleet of a puppy and then a proper big dog if I'm, going, I want to be a big dog in space. I will literally be traveling in a big dog in space. Of course, a Bethesda RPG staple is creating your character, and we got the best look at the character customizer yet. In addition to the 40 face presets, which you can mold to make it look however you want, we also got a look at the background and traits that establish who your character is. Alicia, what opportunities do you think this gives players in Starfield?
I mean, really, the opportunities are endless, aren't they? You can create a character that is any age you want, has any hair you want. There's all the aesthetics. But I think the thing that I'm most excited about as a D&D player who, whenever you're creating a D&D character, you figure out a background and like skills and ideas and traits there. And those really, I know for me, that's how I shape my D&D characters. In Starfield, I think you could be a chef. You could basically try and create a Gordon Ramsay-esque character because maybe you give them the trait where they have that rabid fan. So like, famous chef going throughout the world like, oh no, he's following me. I think it's that kind of fun silliness that you could do, or a really serious, grizzled war veteran. Starfield is about creating your own story as much as finding out what the story of the galaxies are.
I love how much they had an impact as well on your character, and maybe through your play style as well. I love the one they mentioned about the kids stuff where you go and visit your parents. I thought that was so wholesome. Throughout the galaxy, you always return to your parents.
Yeah, it was interesting as well in the direct. Didn't they hint that you can also get rid of traits? So say, if you decide that you don't want your rabid fan anymore, they sort of hinted that you could take matters into your own hands. Be really interesting to see how you can almost work the removal of certain traits into your story. Or that would be really, really dark to remove your parents as a trait. Don't do that.
We could sit and talk about Starfield all day, but to wrap up, what was the thing that surprised you most about Starfield that you learned from the Direct?
One of the biggest surprises for me actually was how much of an insight we got into the developers' personalities. It wasn't a dry, straight-ahead information Direct. It was a real insight into how they play, what things they get really nerdy and geeky about. And I really loved that. It felt really heartwarming, to borrow your word from earlier. And just goes to show that Starfield is a game that really draws your personality out, and anyone coming into your game will really get an insight into that.
Yeah, Bex, what surprised you?
I mean, it has to be the Adoran fan turning up out of nowhere. Good to see him again from Oblivion. That makes me so excited about other Easter eggs that we're maybe going to find. So nods to other Bethesda studio titles. Can't wait to see.
Alicia, Bex, thanks so much for your time today.
Oh, it's been really fun.
Yeah, it was great.
If you're in the UK, while you wait patiently for Starfield's release on September 6th, grab yourself a bottle of Lucozade Energy to claim 1 month of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, plus the chance to win Xbox and Starfield prizes every day, including an Xbox Series S. Just scan the QR code on a bottle of Lucozade Energy Starfield Edition Original, Orange, or Pink Lemonade Zero to get started. And if you want even more on Bethesda's latest RPG, check out the Lucozade Extended Reality experience, where you can discover Starfield content and take part in challenges to win a newly announced Starfield Collector's Edition. For more on Starfield, stick with IGN.